Head on over to HLJ for all your movie monster series needs. Check them out at the link in the description.
Kaiju, turtles, Dragon Ball, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews.
Hey there, collectors, Steven here, and today we're going to be taking a look at a delinquent duo. Today we're going to be doing a double review of the movie monster series Jet to Jaguar and Megalon. Yeah, it's from possibly the least favorite Godzilla movie for some, Godzilla vs. Megalon, but hey, here we go. We have another Jet Jaguar in the movie monster series lineup, and for the first time in so long, Bandai has finally made a vinyl figure of Megalon, and it's super easily accessible. Both of these, they ship from Japan in most instances where you can find them at MSRP for about 1,800 yen. That is fantastic. Of course, shipping is going to vary, but if you're able to get a hold of these at that price, is it going to be worth it? Well, that's what reviews are for, so let's take a look to see whether or not these are worth adding to your collection. And spoiler alert, if you're a fan of vinyls, you probably already have these, and if you don't, why don't you? All right, so I came in there with a pretty strong intro, but now I'm going to kind of pump the brakes just a little bit there on Jet Jaguar. Why is that? Well, you know, sculpt-wise, can you really beat Movie Monster Series? Yeah, you can. For paint, can you really beat Movie Monster Series? Yeah. You can, but considering what else is on the market, this is a rather rock-solid purchase. Now, Jet Jaguar, obviously, if you're taking a look at the 360-pin view, fantastic. We have a good 6-inch scale Jet Jaguar that is readily available on the market to anyone who has access to the internet. You don't have to go hunting down in stores, maybe missing, a restock, and then you bring it home and you realized, hey, I could have gone to... Fine, it doesn't have to be Taco Bell. You can go to any other fast food chain and realize you could have gotten something much more satisfying for the same price. But here, for the movie monster series, I do feel actually like this version of Jet Jaguar, at least for the unit that I got, is rather weak. Now, for the paint applications for the head, just fine. I mean, we know it's classic JJ. Nothing wrong there. Creepy. I don't like it. Keep moving on. Now, for the chest, yeah, we got a couple of minor things going on there. Not that big of a deal. Now, aside from that, we do have random silver streaks throughout the figure, which that is kind of a bit of a bummer for me. And then when we take a closer look in some areas, it actually looks like silver is thinned out in some areas. And in other areas, they went back and they had to do another streak of an uneven silver paint application that doesn't match. And there's going to be red and yellow and other colors that are bleeding over. And not just insofar as they maybe just didn't do the greatest masking job, but almost like they took the airbrush and they didn't care. Now, it may sound like I'm being super critical of the price point here, but considering what the overall cost will have to be for an investment, I don't know, especially when we take a look at Megalon, who's got pretty tight quality control. Generally speaking, in terms of looks, Jet Jaguar, yeah, good. But I feel like they could really have done better considering some of the other recently released MMS figures. Now, Megalon. All right, Megalon. This is the one that everyone is freaking out over. Now, one of the issues with vinyl figures inherently is just simply going to be you can't do thin parts unless you're going super duper high end like X Plus, and then you can really afford to do the thin parts like Titanosaurus and the antennae that he has. Yeah, you can do that, but when it comes to something like Megalon here, the horn, yeah, it's gonna be nerfed a little bit. His antennae, gonna be nerfed a little bit, okay? But thankfully, we have the creepy factor of those compound eyes. Whoa, those are retained very, very well. And that gold paint, kudos to the boys division because they're actually able to hold it together with gold paint and it doesn't look clumpy, which is really good to see. On the horn, actually, as well, we do have a nice silver fade there, which is, like I said, executed rather well. Very good. And when we see the silver paint here on Megalon's horn, on his mouth, on his drill bit hands, you look at that, and then you look at some of the pictures that I just showed you for Jet Jaguar, and then you think, were these the same company? Yes, it was. Now, one of the things that I've always found weird about Megalon is he's going to have yellow marks all over him, or sometimes it's going to be orange, depending on which company or source of material, i.e. which frame of the movie you're looking at. And Megalon pretty much has a good amount of those yellow marks all throughout. But I will say that on the back, it doesn't really look like they added too many sculpt marks for these to be present, and there's a little bit of overspray here and there. Not that big of a deal, but I did want to point that out for some folks where it might just simply be a deal breaker. Again, may not be for you, but for the other guy, it just might. Now, let's take a quick look at the tags for these two and their tags. Silence, so this way there's something there to fill the gap for editing purposes. All right, articulation. So, Megalon, he's like Penguin Megalon. He can't move his arms up. What's going on there? He's at an angle. What's happening? What's going on there? Yeah. So, Megalon's articulation is pretty straightforward. You can see the swivels there right in front of you. Yeah, you know, it's a vinyl figure. I mean, it's not a Monster Arts. And considering that, you know, we just got the Monster Arts Hedorah to drop Megalon one. All right, Jet Jaguar, pretty straightforward humanoid design. I mean, you pretty much know what we're getting into here. Nothing over the top. Now we'll go ahead and move on over to a size comparison so you can see just how big these two are. And I think the sizing is pretty much appropriate. They'll sneak into any of your displays. Unfortunately, I don't have a Movie Monster Series Gigan to throw in there, but I think that these two pair up well, just enough for your displays. So buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. I think Megalon is absolutely a must-have for pretty much any collector because, yes, it looks like if you're an SH Monster Arts fan, we have at least a better horizon for more Showa-era figures, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a 6-inch Megalon. What more can you ask for? For Jet Jaguar, yeah, we don't really have all that fantastic great of an option. Maybe I got a dud, but seeing the quality here compared to some of the other Movie Monster series, what went wrong here? Yeah, Jet Jaguar is not as good as it could be. But overall, at the end of the day, if you're a fan of Movie Monster series, both of these are probably already in your collection, and you're just watching this so this way you can have another experience with another collector. I'm not saying to avoid either of these in any way, shape, or form. I'm just letting you know that if you are going to get into Jet Jaguar, maybe pump the brakes on your expectations, but Megalon, go forth and conquer. No issues.
Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.